This is really bad. It's all gonna be worth it, right? Before we get into it, this is Building a Dream. I'm Jasmine and I bought this untouched land with the goal to build my own off-grid container house and homestead with no experience. Recently at the homestead, spent 2 months building the footings for my container house solo. I had to learn how to operate a digger, a bunch of new power tools, welding, and make formwork and rebar towers. The containers were delivered and placed on the footings, and then I installed a shed pad and a jetty while waiting out the rain. The time has finally come to get these containers joined and start taking down the walls. Let's connect these containers. I've been working my way through removing all the rust, treating it and sealing it on all the containers, with only a few hiccups along the way. 4 days tomorrow and it is pelting down. I was lucky to get a day of sunshine yesterday and get one entire container roof completed with all the rust removed, treated and sealed. This is my new wire brush. I got it from a proper steel shop, so I'm hoping that it really helps with this rust. I'm officially done with the roof of the red container. I'm so bloody happy because this rust is just taking me forever. So it's great to have like one big section like this done. It wasn't too hard, it didn't have that much rust, but I've removed all the rust that was there. My red container's all sealed. She looks beautiful. And while I only have small windows of sun between the rain showers, I need to get these containers joined so I can work on the internal space while it rains outside. Today I'm moving straight on to prepping the joins of the containers so that I can connect them. I dry off any water on the roof of the container, and then I'm using an angle grinder with a wire brush attachment to remove any rust, paint or residue from the joining sections of the container so that I can weld the steel flat bar in place. The steel flat plate is to join the two containers, and it's also to be the base for the roof. Got two purposes, so once I get that up, I can start cutting out some walls. I'm finally finished one join. So I finished the join on the first and the second container. Just all the way along there. And now I have to get started on the second join, which is here. Thankfully I can get to it. I was a bit worried that it'd be under the container and I wouldn't be able to get to it, but I can, so that's good. I've now been grinding for 6 hours. My neck is so sore. Eight hours of grinding. That means it takes 4 hours pretty much, or 3.5 to do those joins. No wonder it's taking me so long to remove all this rust. I've got flat bar, but it's about 10 meters long, so I'm gonna need to cut it to get it up here, and then the flat bar's going in the join here, and then I will weld it together. I think I need to go do some yoga. I'm bloody exhausted and I'm very sore. I've got up super early to get all this steel flat bar cut and then welded on top of the containers, but it is bloody freezing. It's currently 0 degrees, which is in Celsius, and I do not do the cold. I have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 jumpers on. So I'm gonna get inside this container and start cutting, and hopefully I warm up, and hopefully this rain stays away. It's looking quite clear at the moment because I'm gonna be on top of that container welding all day. Bought this new miter saw, right? Well, it's not new, it's second hand, and it was only $100 off Marketplace, so score. But then I had to go buy a bloody blade for it, a metal cutting blade, and that cost $180. I've just tried to put it on and it doesn't bloody fit. I'm just gonna have to use the angle grinder to cut all the steel. I'm just gonna measure up the flat bar so I can cut it. How big of a piece can I carry? I was thinking 2.5. We'll go 2.5 and 2.2. What shall I put under you? The only reason I'm cutting the steel flat bar is so that I can get it up onto the roof by myself. That was so much easier than I expected. It's done. Can we see in here? So my first cut was a little bit shocking, but got better straight away with that cut. And then my next one's gonna be even better. I need another 6 and another 12, so I need another 18 meters for the roof, and it looks like it's gonna rain. This is not good for me. Thank God for steel cap boots, eh? That's my steel flat bar for up on the roof, a little bit extra. Let's get all these up there. This is gonna test my muscles. It's about 25 meters all up. Whew. Still no sign of rain. Now I just need to get the welder up here, and then I can start drying and removing the little bit of surface rust that has formed because it rained overnight, of course. And then I can put my flat bar in place, and then we can start welding. I got a magnetic earth clamp too to make my life a little bit easier. I swear to God if it rains now. Let's hope we don't have to use that. We're just going to tack weld it first. It's really bad. Look over there. And I've only just started and I cannot get this welder up and down easily. This is not good. This is not good. It doesn't look good. Let's hope this holds. Oh, she grey, she grey. Ah! Winter is not my friend. It's all gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it, right? Oh, it wasn't meant to rain today. Oh boy. Okay, we have water patches. Look. Remaining very calm here, but I could quite easily lose it. This is one of my least favourite days of the build. Well, all the progress I made this morning, gone. Wiped out in a 2-minute shower. Now everything is soaked again. Now I have to dry it again, try to get the rust off again that's forming, and the rain might come back again. Also, my welder is a little bit wet, which isn't good. Look at this nightmare. So this is just cloth, so it was only for a sprinkle, but that actually pelted down. And under here is all wet too, where my welder is. So this blue tarp, socks, don't buy cheap tarps. Everything else is also soaked. It's just gonna start forming on that real quickly. Do you know what else is soaked? The only rags that I have to dry everything with. Oh wow, look at that. Blue sky. With only 2 hours of sunlight left, and that being how long it takes me to remove the water, I had to abort my mission and try again the next day. My container home build is about to get so much easier thanks to my sponsors today, Bluetti, who have just sent me the AC300 and B300 home battery backup system. So that's going to supply me with all the power I need to use all my power tools throughout the build. I've mentioned a few times the struggles I've had with power, especially when winter hits and there's not as much sun, and I'm using so many power tools for the home build. I usually have a lot of tools on the go, and I do have a caravan solar set up. It's just not storing enough power for me to be able to use all these power tools, and so I've been using a generator as a backup, but that's been getting quite expensive on fuel. The AC300 plus the B300 home battery backup system can supply me with 3,000 watts and can be charged through solar, battery, my car, or if you have grid connection, you can use that as well. Betty sent me this amazing trolley to go with it, which I'm really relieved about because this would not have been fun to move around without it. So my plan is, I'll show you. That is, I roll her down here. Like this, and then once I've got her rolled down here, I can use the cables to connect her to the solar panels or a battery or my car. One of the best parts too is there's an app, so I can connect to the system, and then if I'm up on the roof using my power tools, I can actually check how much battery there is left. This is what the app looks like on your phone. There's also multiple outlets for everything I could ever need. And there's even wireless charging up here, so you can just pop your phone on there. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's actually a lot more room on this trolley. And that's because the AC300, which is this main unit, can actually support 4 of these B300s. And that's over 12,000 watt of power. So you can get 2 more sat on here and then 1 under here as well, which would supply you with power for a long time. An amazing home backup system. This is your little screen, and it's all touch screen. You can see how much charge, you can go to your settings. It's very similar to the app on your phone. What was a lovely surprise when I got this is I also got this along with it, which says, thank you for your kind support to the LAAF program, committed to light up to 1 million African families. So Bluetti have started a 5-year plan with the goal of supplying electricity to African families that don't have any. So every time you purchase the AC300 or the AC500, you get sent this as well to say that Bluetti has donated a solar power system to an African family that doesn't have any electricity. So that's really lovely. I've got family ties in Africa, so that was a really nice surprise. The reason this system's about to come in so handy is I'm sure you've seen the building supplies all around it. And if you've been following the journey, you'll know that I'm about to build a roof over my head. Finally able to get up to the city and get all the building materials I needed. It was a bit of a mess around because the shop that promised to be open on the weekend wasn't open on the weekend. So I had to find some other guys who were very helpful and thankfully had everything I needed. So I'll be using RHS and SHS steel tubing to make the roof. It's going to be a skillion roof, which is also called like a lean roof as well, I think places. So the plan is I'm going to roll up my miter saw to the container here, and I'll just be able to kind of pull them out, pop them on, and cut them off as I need. I've also got all the roof sheets that I need as well here. Question, does anyone know if there's a way to install 8.5 meter roof sheets solo? Or am I gonna have to get another pair of hands in? Also, if anyone has any tips for roofing and installing a skillion roof, also called a lean roof, I believe, then that'd be great too. I'm always up for advice. I've got my plan and what I'm gonna do. The thing that I've learned while building a house is there's always surprises and always things that you don't predict and don't know about and things that are gonna go wrong. So yeah, if anyone can let me know those things in advance so I can plan for them, that's always a good thing. These are all my steel tubes for the roof as well. Got some real long boys there. Before I get back to work, Bluetti has Prime Day specials on at the moment for the whole month of July. All the promotion details will be in the description below, but there's also an exclusive discount code if you wanted to grab a system of your own. I think it's time to test it out. I'm just gonna test the system out by plugging in some batteries that I need to charge and also sanding this piece of wood, and I'll see how it does. I see. There we go. Charging. Give this piece of wood a sand and see what it gets down to. That wood is very smooth. So the battery is still, it's on 63%, so it's only gone down 1%, which is pretty amazing. I've had this plugged in charging, and then I was running the sander for about 10 minutes, and I think it was showing about 197 watts or something when I had the sander running as well. And it's only dropped 1%. This will help the build so much. Winter is about halfway through, and since it's begun, I've been losing 3 to 5 hours a day to rain trying to work on the container home build. This includes either waiting for the rain to stop, removing water from the roof, surfaces, steel plates and so on, protecting the tools, or hauling them in and out of the rain. This means the majority of my day is spent fighting the rain, which is very physically and mentally demanding. And I know I'm a hard worker, but I'd also like to be a smart worker. So the thinking cap's going on, and I'll decide how to best move forward during the remainder of winter. Welding is happening today. No rain.
Golden days drifting far away.
Oh, that looks good too. Really proud. It got stuck. There's either a kink in it somewhere or because of splatter. Oh, yes! Yes, yes, yes! Have to have it laid out straight. That makes a massive difference. Is it gonna work? It's moving. Where is it? Oh! Oh! I did it! I did it! It's there!
We stay just for and live.
So this is what's holding me up. I'll show you. The kink's happened again, and I keep having to take it apart and get it out and refeed all the wire when it happens. Can you see in there? So basically, I know because I push this and it won't go. It means I have to take this off and I have to cut the wire, and then I have to refeed it, and I have to pull it all the way out of the lead as well. There we go. You see the wire here? It needs to go across into that little hole thing poking out. There we go, like that. Now I need to get the wire out of here. Quite literally just make it straight. I can just grab it there and it should come out. Yep. There she is. Come on. Oh! Look at that. You see that grey cloud behind me? Here comes the rain. Build a container house. It'll be easy. This is creating a lot of water. Go away, rain. Fantastic. My back's getting so wet. It was literally just that downpour. Oh shit. It's gonna sprinkle again. So I've got everything under here. I've just finished that first piece of flat bar. I'm gonna go grab the paint that I got so that I can actually seal that metal. Painting as this day's been, I am pretty proud of my one little section that I've done. I reckon it looks really good. Literally just this one cloud that's above me. But I can see a rainbow over there, which I guess is something.
Do you see that? It's like a double rainbow. And I can actually see a double rainbow on that bottom one as well.
Guess that's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's a new day and another day of removing 2 hours worth of water off the top of the containers, and that's if it doesn't rain again. For 4 days I was on top of these containers, removing water, removing rust, welding, and then rinse and repeat. This is my second time using MIG welding, and the first day I started at a rate of 1 metre per hour, and by my last day I was doing 1 metre per 15 minutes, which shows how important repetition is. The majority of that time was fighting Mother Nature, but I'm so proud to say I've completed connecting 2 containers together, and with my new metre per hour rate, I'll be doing the second join by the start of next week, and then I can start taking down the walls inside of the container. I even managed to get a final coat of waterproofer on the red container, and she's looking so flash next to her sister.